Happy Sabbath, everybody. So I'm going to give you a little Navajo voice speech class here really quick. Can you repeat after me? Ya, at, e. Ya at e. That is the Navajo greeting, and for those of you who don't know, I have been living in Chinle, Arizona for the past 6 months or so, and I will be staying there until June. And there's quite a lot of difference between there and here. One huge difference is altitude, because we live at 5,500 feet above sea level. There are some crazy temperature drops down to 4 degrees in the evenings just now, and in February it's going to get a lot colder. Also, the humidity here, I did not realize it was humid here until I felt the difference between the dry, high desert down there and getting out into the Portland airport recently. So it's quite a difference. And I'm so excited to share with you about my mission partner and my mission partner, her name is Kristen, and should be coming up here. Yes, she's on the right side. This is Dene is how you pronounce it, Dene Mission. And Chinle is also home to Canyon de Chelly. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with it, but it is beautiful. To me, it's just as beautiful as the Grand Canyon. We had some amazing native tours, and we haven't gone in yet, but it's quite beautiful there. There's also been a lot of sandstorms, and it's quite interesting to see. There's going to be a picture coming up this is our floor after a sandstorm. Even with all the doors closed, all the windows shut, that's what happens to our floor. So it's quite interesting. We live in a small trailer home, and I have 2 housemates, so there's 3 of us total. And this mission is really all about doors for me. I started out, the first door to even get to Canyon de Chelly, to get to Chinle, to all these people, almost shut because of COVID. And that was really hard, but God worked miraculously and helped us to be able to go. And that first door actually opened other doors, and it's hard to say there's good things about COVID, but there are. And there are 2 doors that opened because of COVID, never would have happened without COVID. One of those doors is that we've been able to go out to families. We can't have big meetings because of the reservations restrictions, but we've been able to go into their homes and work with the children one-on-one, and it's been a huge blessing. And family ministry has been huge. And the second door is also their hearts, because there's a lot of fear going on down there, and I'm sure all over the world. And because of that, their hearts are more open to God. So that's been really exciting. And speaking of doors, there's this little boy named Adriano, and he is so sweet. He's one of the boys we go to for our home visits. And one day after our class, he said, "My heart has a door, right?" And he remembered our lesson. Our lesson was about how Jesus has knocked on our doors in our hearts. So that was exciting to know. He remembers, the kids remember, and it's sticking in their minds. There's also a lot of health concerns in the Navajo Nation, and that's kind of why we're there. So this is the program we do. It's called JA, and it stands for Jesus and Me. And I don't know how many of you have heard of Alcoholics Anonymous, but this is basically the same thing. It's the same 12 steps. The only difference is that we give a bigger emphasis on Jesus as being our way out of addiction. And I've noticed that everybody has addiction of some type. So I'm learning how to become a family with those people who also have addictions. And many of the kids have to face abuse and domestic violence and so many things, and their families are struggling with addictions. So our job is to do a JA Kids. So while the parents are at their meetings, we help the kids to do kind of an early prevention so that when they get older, they don't have to struggle through these troubles with addiction. And it's been a huge, huge blessing. So we also have a lot of local kids living around us, and we've been able to have some fun with them. On Sabbath afternoons, we go on hikes with the kids often, and there's some really sweet ones there. This was before the cold temperatures came, and we also have had some fun charades that we've been doing with them. The kids love to act out Bible stories. So on the left, we have our creative young lady there, and she's taking plastic apples and she's tying them to the tree, making the tree of the knowledge of good and evil for our charade. And on the right, she used some sandstone to actually make Moses in the little bulrushes, and it was really cute. So she's doing a really good job, but they're able to make these stories come alive just by seeing them. It's been a pleasure. And the next little boy that we spend time with, he's about 8 years old, and he is so sweet. He is the active one. So we go biking with him, and we do some frisbee and football. His favorite game is hide and seek, and he loves to get in stealth mode, and he'll take his hat and he'll turn it backwards, and he'll sneak around, and it's really fun to play with him. But he also has had some amazing spiritual breakthroughs, and I was able to, for the first time last week, actually in Sabbath school, I was teaching him, and he voiced his desire to be baptized. The first time he had ever mentioned that. So that was very impactful to me. He also doesn't know how to say my name, so he calls me Mr. Matessa. So it's kind of funny to hear him come up to me and call me Mr. Matessa. And the next thing that I wanted to share is about the radio program, which was a huge surprise to us, and another result of COVID, actually. And we actually are on one of the two stations on the Navajo Nation, and I've never done any kind of radio recording before, so this has been quite a journey for me. But we set up our own station, and we do a kids program for 5 minutes every week, every Sunday morning, and the whole reservation has access to this. We've had almost 100 call-ins, and it's been amazing. The people that are calling for Bible studies, we've visited a few of them, and they're really excited about the program. Our first radio room was actually our own bedroom, and we set it up with blankets and mattresses, and it wasn't perfect, but it worked, and we enjoyed our time. It was a sauna in there because of how hot it was. But now our current radio room, it looks slightly better. It's not our bedroom, so we don't have to demolish it after every single radio program, but it needs some work, but we're just going along with it. We even used our styrofoam lunch boxes to put on the walls because we didn't have anything else to soundproof, but it works. It works. And we're really excited because this is really reaching a lot of people, and prayers for that would be really appreciated. The next thing, which is one of my favorites, is in-home Bible studies, another result of COVID. Never would have happened. We wouldn't have had time without that. But we've been able to actually go into people's homes, usually outside because we have to be careful about COVID, but we've been able to go visit them and share with them about God. And this first family, there's 3 girls, and we have had so much fun with them. The middle child, she asked a really sweet question. I love hearing their questions. Her question was, who is God the Father's father? And that was a pretty deep question, actually. So it was really interesting to hear, but this is their backyard. Their backyard is like a national park. It's pretty amazing. And this is Tiffany, and she is our other lady, 30s, I believe, that we've been helping her, reading through the Bible with her, and it's been a wonderful experience, and she is just the sweetest. She makes us smile all the time. One thing she calls me Tisa. My name has been pronounced all the time. She calls me Tisa, and she asked us, can Jesus give us wings? Well, it was really a sweet question. So we've had some wonderful experiences, and lastly, I just want to share quickly what we've been doing for the kids' programs in their homes, actually outside of their homes. That's their home in the background, and then they also have a hogan next to it, a circular or octagon-shaped home. We have about 9 kids that come. They're all from the same family group, and they come together. And they are just amazing. We do crafts with them, and we really enjoy our times together. They love selfies, and so they often will take our phones and take selfies with them, and we'll get surprised at the end by all the funny pictures that come up. But I think the biggest thing, this girl on the right side, she started out with a scowl at the beginning of our meetings, and she ended with that joyful expression on her face. And we've seen transformation in their lives because they've gone through so much, and yet they have this joy that only comes from Jesus. So prayers for them would be so appreciated. They are amazing, and we all really appreciate the support from church here. I can definitely feel it, and thank you so much. And we've even been able to do some music. We got 11 ukuleles donated, so the kids are enjoying it a lot. They don't exactly know how to play it yet, but they're learning. They've got a couple chords down, so it's been really fun. But to end it off, I will say the Navajo goodbye, Hagone, and Ahyehe, which means thank you. Thank you so much for everything, for all of your prayers.